Today, I'm going to talk about the newspapers articles. It's the writers. So, the fact box. The country is in the grip of debt crises. A vendor waits for customers at his vegetable stall at a main market in Colombo, Sri Lanka, February 10, 2023. It's the scenario of Sri Lanka. London, February 24. Meetings being held in India will see top officials from the group of 20 leading economics discuss how to help the growing number of countries now in the grip of debt crisis. The United Nations estimates that over 50 countries, accounting for more than half of the world's poorest people, are in need of immediate relief to avoid even more extreme poverty, while analysts estimate that as much as $400 billion of international market debt could be at the heart of the problems. Below is a list of countries that have either defaulted on their international debt or are seen at risk of doing so. Ukraine suspended all its debt payments last year in the wake of Russia's invasion. It will need to restructure its borrowings if and when the situation stabilizes. But in the meantime, it is looking to secure tens of billions of dollars of Western fundings to keep the country functioning. Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal said this week Kiev is hoping to cleanse a $15 billion multi-year International Monetary Fund program. It hopes that kind of help would also prompt other donors to step up. Kiev needs to cover a budget deficit of $38 billion this year and has secured 18 billion euros from European Union and 10 billion from the United States. Sri Lanka defaulted on its international debt for the first time in its modern history last year as years of economic mismanagement made even worse by the COVID-19 global slump ultimately turned into a full blown crisis when social unrest forced the then president to flee. The new government reached a provisional agreement with the IMF in September for a near 3 billion support program, but complex negotiation with the likes of China, India, and Japan that have lent Sri Lanka huge sums mean the money is still to be finalized. Zambia, the first African countries to default during the COVID-19 era back in 2020, is seen as a litmus test for the G20's Common Framework Initiative set up during the pandemic to accelerate and streamline debt restructuring, but progress with Zambia's 13 billion debt rework has been glacial. Some Western officials have blamed China for the hold-up, something that China dispute, while there have also been broad disagreements about how much debt the countries can afford going forward and whether multilateral lenders like the World Bank should also write off some of its loans to Zambia. Zambia's currency, the kwacha, has fallen about 8% against the US dollar this year, which the country's central bank has blamed partly on debt restructuring delays and warns it's also adding to inflation. Lebanon is also the country who can face the default. Ghana, Pakistan, we know the condition of Pakistan right now. They're facing the worst economic crisis right now. Egypt, Tunisia, Malawi, El Salvador, and that is the list of the countries which can really face the economic turmoil in the future and also facing shortage of the reserve to pay the debt to the other countries. Also, they are not able to importing equipment that is necessary for their country. So I think the world leaders, G20 leaders, and other countries who is financially stable will come forward and help them to come out from this situation.